Dave, off-road park, surprisingly unchaotic.
Oh, yeah. I did these Monday. I was really on top of it because I feel like I've been dropping the ball the last couple of weeks. So we took the buggy to a little state recreational area this last weekend. A little nervous about it because I've never been real easy on the old gal. You know what I mean?
I don't know how putting 15,000 miles in 10 weeks is being easy on the old
They're
gal.
easy miles.
Yeah.
Easy miles. But I was really surprised because I'm thinking, like, I got in my head, this is just like the whole intent of this 3,500 acre thing is just people out there
ripping, tearing
shit up. But people were on the right side of the road. We were with a group of 3 buggies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people there was in us, but 3 buggies. And we'd stop to check out a map, to see where we wanted to head to in this place next. And
that's wild.
Somebody'd come by. Hey, you guys okay? Yep. All right. Have a good day. And they'd take off. And then you start seeing people coming. And I was like, man, we're going to be coming around a corner. Somebody's going to run us over with a Jeep. But
Do they allow Jeeps in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was some kid in there. I say kid, probably mid-20s. Looked to be couldn't have been older than 3 or 4 years old. Looked like a brand new Toyota Tacoma crew cab.
Oh, gosh.
Just out there ripping through the trails. Just having a hell of a time. And he'd come up to the parking lot, turn around, and go right back in. And I'm like, good grief, man. Like, I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was so daggone like, because I didn't
White-knuckled?
Well, I didn't know where any of this stuff went. And the buggy's fine for the family, but it's not like nimble.
No. It's a bus.
And some of these things get going like this. I'm like, we're going to get all the way down in here. And I'm going to find out that I can't fit. And then what the fuck we got to do?
Well, Dave, I'm just going to throw it out there. Statistically speaking, you're not the first full-size 4-door side-by-side to roll down through there.
Right, but fair. You're probably right. But I probably was more worried about something breaking than anybody else that would take their full-size.
Well, it's under warranty. You're all right.
I don't know if that works that way. Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
If it's a piece of equipment malfunction, it's totally that. But I don't think they cover like.
Yeah, you wrap it around a tree. Probably.
Yeah,
not.
they don't cover axles.
Well,
and shit
some
like
of them,
that.
some of them little of these, like we about ended up wrapped around a tree. At
Switchbacks?
Yeah, just because I got to go so goddamn
Switchbacks?
wide
Switchback
to be able to cut it back. And one of them, it was a soupy muddy damn mess.
Oh, I told you
soupy
that.
muddy damn mess.
I seen him at the gas station before, and you could just tell he was really thrilled about going.
Well, the next day, the following morning, I had to drop that thing off at to get serviced at a place. And I'm not going to be that guy that just drops it off like you got to.
What car wash did you go to?
The driveway.
Okay.
Jen was like, we should go to a car wash. I'm like, no. I was like, that is a shitty thing to do.
You're damn right it is. Thank you.
And so we didn't.
Coming from a car wash owning family. Thank you.
But I was out there in the driveway for 2 hours, and I thought I did pretty good.
2 hours?
We only rode for 2 hours, and I was still out there for 2 hours trying to get mud. And it's still not perfect. It was a freaking.
Well, it is a side-by-side. It will not be perfect ever.
She's like, well, this is what it's made for, as the doors are rubbing on the side of this goddamn, like William could reach out and touch the ground.
Well, sure. You need to get rock sliders and stuff like that.
That's what I told her. I said, that's what I told her. I was like, if we're going to be doing this, we got to.
We're going to be doing this tactical off-roading shit. I mean, I don't know. You've spaceshiped that up pretty good already. I can't imagine what else.
But William?
What else? Oh, I bet he loved every second of it.
His smile went from ear to ear.
I
bet his face
shit
hurt.
all over his helmet.
Just the left side, because he hung his head out of the door the whole ass time.
Did you see the pictures that Jenna put online?
I didn't know.
Oh, my God. His head was out the window.
At least one time he went, this is the best day I've ever had. Just hanging his arm out, getting belted with whatever weird ass mud they got.
Oh, gosh.
But no, it was just a weird thing. Like, I didn't expect it to be so
that property in particular used to not be.
It's old coal mine ground. It used to not be managed.
It used to not be managed. And me and old brother Love have been out there several times before it was a thing, and there used to be like you could go in the back way, and if you could make it through this one big ass lake water hole, you were good, and if you can't, you're screwed, and all this shit.
Now
and,
there was some deep water there. It doesn't look like it looked narrow like a puddle, but then it's coming up over the headlights of the buggy, and I'm like, oh, good grief.
We got
water
so
here.
if you could imagine, if you went all the way to the north end of that state property to where you hit a county road that would run east and west.
I think that's 1,200 or something.
Used to, that would be where we would go in because you could ride your four-wheeler.
What do they call it? 5 points? 5 point?
You go back through 5 points, and then you just keep going towards Spurgeon, and then we
were almost to it, and what it is, it looks like there's just like a barrier, like a
big berm,
concrete, like
Legos, and all. They put all kinds of shit up there.
But you can probably still get to the road if you wanted to.
Used to, because that's the last time I was down there with some friends. We just created our own way through the area and made sandwiches, and it was a good time. But used to, if you were to go on the north side of the road, there was nothing but there was these big coal flats where it was basically just slurry pits from the mine, Triad had mined all the way through that. And their wash plant, all of the water that had coal fines and other shit, they would just pump out in these big, because this was like pre-reclamation act and all that stuff. Well, you would ride on that shit and it was like a wave. So like the top 6 or 8 inches was solid with coal fines, but it wasn't nothing but straight shit underneath it. So when you'd walk on it, like you could,
everybody's been in a driveway like that. Yeah.
The whole thing would move. You know what I mean?
Like a waterbed.
Exactly. And I don't know if Justin was with us one night or not, but we got back in there and a fella from Jasper had a big square body Chevy sitting on like 40s or something back in there. And he was being all hot doggy and he spun through it and broke down. And
that's trouble.
The whole ass end of his truck went down in it. And then there we sat, and we were stuck back in there for probably 6 hours. And this was pre-cell phone. Like our parents knew where we were going, but we didn't come back for a long time. To where the one guy's mom was going to call the law and have like a search party sent out and all kinds of shit. Luckily, some fine folks from I think it was like the Linville Jeepers Club or some Warwick County based like jeeping club. They had to get the old block and tackle and the snatch straps and all that kinds of shit. And they ended up like tandem hooking 2 Jeeps to it. And with the block and tackle, they doubled down like you double your winch weight with however that pulley system worked. It took 2 Jeeps winching, tied off to 2 more Jeeps, tied off to 1 truck. So it was like 2, and then they teed into this 1 truck in the back. And they were all winching at the same time to pull that big
cool as
it was neat to watch, but man, we were red-assed when we got home. Our parents, all of us were grounded. Like they were pissed.
Hey, but it wasn't your fault.
No, I mean, we just victim of circumstance, you know what I mean? Old boy just got hung up, and hell, we can't just leave him, you know what I mean? Like, we got to stay there because he broke his front drive shaft, which turned it into a 2-wheel drive truck, which is pretty much pointless at that point. But there was a lot of good times spent back in there. Yep.
I told Jenna we'll go back. I just... I feel like now I know a few trails that I can. No, I just feel bad when the kids. I didn't want to get stranded back there.
Nah, there's enough people that use that now. I don't think that stranded thing's really anything.
A ton of people for a Sunday, and I can't believe how nice it is. I didn't expect to. Like you just ride through these trails, and then there'll be like a small clearing on top of a spoil bank.
Yeah,
and there'll be 2 picnic tables there, and a little place to pull off. Well, that's fucking nice.
Was there anybody at the gatehouse?
There's a guy at the gatehouse.
So you have to pay to get in now.
But really it's per vehicle, not like per off-road vehicle. It's $15. You can do $95 for a year.
Yeah.
We saw 1 DNR guy.
Yeah.
And then there was a CO out there.
Mm-hmm.
We passed them each a couple of times. They were just making their rounds, being sure nobody was.
Beverages?
So we actually didn't take any because I kind of expected somebody to be checking coolers since they post so much that you're not supposed to have beverages.
Right.
But even driving through, there's another thing I was worried about is just some drunk ass on a dirt bike T-boning where William's sitting or something.
Well, but that's why they post the no alcohol.
Well, sure.
And I'm sure people were having beverages there, but nobody.
It's kind of one of those deals that it polices itself.
Yeah.
That if somebody.
That's what surprised me. Like it was. Everybody was having a good time. You could tell. Well, there's this one old boy who's Jeep Cherokee, like it was broke down, and somebody pulled in with a real nice 3/4 ton Power Stroke to get him out. He was having a bad day because his shit was broke down. But everybody else was just super friendly. Like they'd stop, oh, go on, because they could tell you're a group, you know.
Some guy, we all went there after work one morning because we worked right there by it. And we went there one morning after work. A whole bunch of us did. And I just drove my truck, the white truck. You know, I just, Baja back through there with that whole thing. And guy had like a Razor or Ranger, like when they first come out, and like broke the wheel off of it, like broke an A-arm and hit a rock, broke the A-arm. It was stuck. We were miles from nowhere to get back the road. And I had to go back. I was the only guy, went back and got the trailer that this thing came there on and wadded our ass back in there. And then, pulled that thing through the trails on the trailer. And it was like the trailer had like golf cart tires on it. It was a wild deal. But yeah, we used to go there all the time. Hill climbing, just there's some cool shit.
I don't care to do any of that shit where I might break something expensive.
Yeah.
But just to go find a deep mud
The
puddle.
thing is, you gotta go at the right time though, because like the dust
Now, I was telling
is a
Jenna,
huge issue out there.
I was worried about the mud, but I would rather do it in the mud because it would be rough as a cob if it was dry.
Oh yeah, and then the
awful.
dust, you'd be eating dust. It's terrible in the summer. Yeah, so
It was a good time.
yeah.
Anyway, just
glad you had fun.
never been, and I was a little anxious.
We took
about
a spring break trip to the one up in Attica, Indiana. The Badlands that they call it, Indiana
Now, there's
Badlands.
one close to my hometown, south of ways, called Haspin Acres.
Yeah, that's another
Never
one.
been there, but everybody always went there with their trucks and four-wheelers, but I think it's a similar
Yeah,
type.
there's several of those riding parks that are somewhat close to here.
Lot in Tennessee.
Dirty Turtle, and what the hell, Blue
Wash or Blue Aqua
Blue
or-
Hole or something. There's all kinds of them. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, good times. That's what I had.
Good. I'm glad.
Good topic.
Glad you had a
You'll have
good
to come
weekend.
down next time. Hey, I did notice that somebody fucked up my door on the other side. So the back doors won't open enough for a big fella to get in because they've got like a restraint to keep them from opening too far. Well, that must have opened while we were riding or something, and it just broke that strap off. So we can put big fellas in the back again. So
Good
nice.
news. Good news.
we might have to have a
Here.
Yeah, good
coffee
news.
cruise here
Great
soon.
news. This is great news. I'm excited.
You ought to be.
Yeah, I'm as out of the 4 individuals sitting in this room that doesn't own one of those.
So you can hop in there?
Well, got to
It's better
find
to
time
ride
in the busy
together
schedule.
anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Before the kids get up. 6 to 8, drink a pot of coffee, neighborhood watch.
I don't see 6 a.m. very often.
7 to 9.
Shocker.
7 I see all the time.
We can do 7 to 9. Kids
Yeah.
will be just getting up, ready for you to cook breakfast. You have a little buzz going on if you want, or just coffee.
Big coffee guy in the morning.
Yeah,
Me
me
too.
too.
Yeah, so nothing wrong with that.